Feeling Dangerous 113 for 5. I know I'm late, but now that the actors are on strike, how does this thing end? Does it really change much? If you have already addressed this, well, $5. We have not addressed it, but it affected the show today.
Yeah, in horrible ways.
Well, I mean, so today we were supposed to have on Casper Van Dien as a guest. He was going to talk about Mad Heidi. We were going to obviously ask him about films like Starship Troopers and other projects that he's been involved in. Casper Van Dien, couldn't do the show today, and he was very nice about it. Sent a note and apologies to everybody because we hyped that he was going to be on, and he couldn't even, Casper Van Dien cannot even do the show because of the SAG strike. In fact, yesterday during the Oppenheimer premiere, the red carpet, the actors had to bow out of the Q&A. So they moved up earlier the Oppenheimer premiere so that it wouldn't conflict with the SAG strike. The actors did the red carpet and then they left. And that's it. That is going to be the last red carpet. But here's how it's going to affect things in the short term. No actors are going to be allowed to do any media. That's no press junkets for movies, no red carpets, no interviews, even interviews onto YouTube channels like Film Threat. If you are an actor and you are in SAG, you are not able to do any kind of media promoting any project. It's part of the strike because the actors are valuable not just on camera, but actors are a valuable asset when it comes to promoting a movie. So for the time being, with the SAG strike, I think the SAG strike is probably going to be resolved pretty quickly because there are big movies that are coming out, right? I mean, and that's why also all this press with Barbie was done way in advance because they knew it was coming. And Oppenheimer was right up until the 11th hour, right? Right up until literally the minute of the strike. And because they were on UK time, they had to stop. So I think I think that it's going to be resolved more quickly than the Writers Guild, but part of it, I believe, is for show. Part of it is for show so that SAG can say, hey, we're in solidarity with the actors, right? Excuse me. The actors are in solidarity with the writers. Flip it. And you're going to see actors on the picket line, although the weather in Los Angeles lately has been nearing 100. It's been very hot lately. I don't know how much they're going to last. I think a lot of it is going to be for Instagram and for pics. You're going to see actors go out, strike for an hour or two outside of studios, but you're going to see big actors strike. You want to do some celebrity sighting and get some pics? Look at those picket lines. They're right outside of Disney. I saw it outside of Disney.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. The money issues regarding the strike don't affect the big name actors. They're still going to make their millions of dollars. It's the small guys, and those are the ones who are going to be on the picket line. The ones
part of it
making
is
minimums.
Something the industry hasn't grappled with yet, and we've talked about it a little bit, but how much AI is going to affect things going forward. In this AI, you're going to be able to license the rights to an actor, older actors. You're going to be able to make new movies starring John Wayne or James Dean. And you're going to have whole movies made with digital actors. This is going to happen in our lifetime. Right now, it's like, you get young Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in the first 20 minutes of Indy 5, right? That's one thing. But that technology is going to get better and cheaper, only cheaper. A guy I talked to last night at the San Diego Comic-Con, pre-party, LA pre-party. I can't say who I talked to, but I talked to someone that in 2019 saw a technology test. Okay. They took every Tom Cruise movie ever made and put it in a computer. And then they took Tom Cruise likeness and they replaced Harrison Ford as Han Solo in key scenes from Star Wars as a test with Tom Cruise as Han Solo. So it's Tom Cruise in the classic vest with the white shirt, etc. And there were classic scenes, and not only did this technology test change and add Tom Cruise, it wasn't just taking Tom Cruise and putting Tom Cruise's head on Han Solo. It was his whole body, and his body moved like Tom Cruise's body, which is different than Harrison Ford's body.
Mhm.
In addition, this person described a scene, the scene in the bar with in the cantina with Greedo.
Yeah.
With Greedo. So there's the scene with Greedo, Han Solo's in the bar, and it's Tom Cruise as the character. And you see when Greedo comes up that Tom Cruise as Han Solo does that typical, that thing that like Tom Cruise will go like, he'll do like a, like that, like sort of a sort of like, like it did that. And it actually extended the length of that cut. So it was not only adding Tom Cruise as Han Solo into Star Wars, it was changing and editing the pacing of the movie based on things Tom Cruise would have done versus Harrison Ford. This was a test that was done in 2019. And by the way, this person who leaked this to me is very prominent in the industry. This is someone I have known for years, and I'm not going to reveal who it is, but this ain't BS. And this person described it as it was scary to see because it wasn't perfect. It was still on the deep fake level, but that's only going to get better. That was 4 years ago. How much better has it gotten in 4 years? So there you go. It was, I think that is going to be a big point, if not this go around, the next go around for sure. AI is going to be the big part of this conversation, and they're only beginning to talk about it in these negotiations. Alan, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, let me ask you this question. I feel like the strike, both on the WGA and the SAG side, I feel like the money issues have been already resolved. That the strike is not about getting more money, but it's about the side things, like for the writers not being a gig economy, not to bulk up a writer's room, to force studios to hire an entire writer's room. And I think on the SAG side, maybe it's this issue, being able to license your image. Do you get that sense, or am I completely off?
Oh, it's I do think that the actors are going to resolve it more quickly. The writers are going to hold out.
Yeah, but do you think the money aspect of it has already been resolved?
More, yeah. I mean, they're going to get a 20% bump, but you've heard like quotes like Iger saying that the writers are not living in reality, because the thing is streaming is not making the kind of money that Hollywood thought it would make.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing is, when you're spending $300 million on a movie, this is what the studios were doing beforehand. And I think the reason where we're at is because they know they spent so much money and they want their cut. But the problem is that cut is no longer there. Right. And maybe that's where the real tension is. It's like, well, you spent this money in the past. Why can't you spend it now? And the studio saying, well, we don't have that money anymore. And now we're at this impasse. Maybe that's the real reason behind everything.
Yeah. Sean O'Rourke says 160,000 SAG-AFTRA actors and only 15% are millionaires. Comment on that, Alan?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I think money is, well, two things. Yeah, money is less of an issue. It's kind of like the reckoning now is budgets. The studios just didn't have the money they had pre-strike that they have now. And the other thing is, again, the big after actors, the 15% here, do they really care about the rest of it, the 85%? Those are the ones who are getting screwed in the end.
Alan has stamina, says imperfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That's my wife.
CD Stein 69 says best part of the SAG strike is shining the light on the fudged numbers by the studio in regard to streaming. Because that is great, because what the studios have been doing is touting how streaming is this huge hit. It's a success. And why? Because they want their investors and stockholders to get excited. And then the talent that's like, oh, it's doing, the writers and the actors are, oh, streaming is doing well, huh? How about we get a piece of that? And then, I mean, it's not doing that well. So it's kind of funny to see that play out.
Do you remember, like, in 2008 when the last writer's strike happened? I remember it really affecting the way I watched television. This one, I hardly noticed that there's a strike going on. You know, my life has continued from an entertainment standpoint, which you know, speaks to the leverage that these strikers have at the moment. Not much.
Adam Iglesias for 5. Isn't it all by choice? Can't filmmakers choose not to use AI, and celebrities don't have to say yes to AI likeness? No one's forcing anyone. That's true, but you're going to see it's already happened, whether you know it or not. It is for big tentpole studio films. Actors are scanned so that if they need to do reshoots, they can do it with a stand-in and then graft the actor's face, especially if it's like a long shot or an actor running away from an explosion or whatever. One of the earliest examples of that was one of the worst shots from James Cameron's Titanic, you know, when they're running away from the water and you can see their faces are kind of, it's shaky. That shot was bad. That's where you're going to see AI get used. And it's going to get used more and more and more. I agree with you, Adam, but the temptation is there, and it's out there. Some Rumble comments here real quick. From Rumble, BMO Better sub supporter. I could make an argument that AI could make Marvel productions way better than they are now. I think that's true. I mean, look, you could bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and he could be a younger version. I mean, you could. Robert Downey Jr. could just say, you know, sure, put Iron Man as me, and you can even do sound-alikes. I mean, didn't they use AI voice technology for Obi-Wan for the voice of Darth Vader?
Yeah, well, I mean, they used to do that. They've always done that, where they hire some actor
sound-alike, but now they get technology to do it. The performance now is from actually the software does the performance. Film Threat.